Hi there, I'm just popping up for a brief exercise, experiment, call it what you will. So each week, every Friday, I write an essay, which I send out to, I don't know, tens of thousands of people. And it's generally an essay about creativity and art and life and being an artist and all the problems that come with it. And I often have people say to me, why could you read it aloud to me? I'm not quite sure why that's what they want, but I'm always willing and happy to oblige to my many subscribers, which, by the way, if you'd like to become one, I should put it up on the screen, don't you think? How you can become a subscriber too, if you're not one yet. Yes, I'm going to type it up right now, dannysessays.com. So if you go to dannysessays.com, you will be able to sign up. It is it's free, and I also will send you a book that I wrote, a book of some fun stuff, and then each Friday I'll send you another one. So here's the URL. I should have done this in the first place, but you know how it works. So yeah, so it's nice to see some of you popping up. So here's what I was thinking. As I said, people have asked me, would I read the essay? So I thought, okay, this week I'll just read it to you on YouTube, and then you can look at my face if you want to, or you can listen to it, or you can read it, or you can go about your business. It's up to you. But I figured, I just started or finished actually working on this week's essay, but I'm going to read you the one I sent out last Friday because I don't want to ruin the suspense by giving it to you too early. So here, let me just pull it up on the trusty computer. And so this essay that I wrote this week was called "How Did I Get to Be Me?" And I'll read it to you, and then I'll just, if I feel like I can think of anything else to say, I will. Danny Gregory played the Peppermint Lounge alongside Ike and Tina Turner and Elvis Presley. He died in Kansas City. Danny owned and operated Subway restaurants and several race car teams. He was recently inducted into the Warsaw Speedway Hall of Fame. Danny was a machinist, mechanic, and jack of all trades. He was able to fix anything. He worked his entire career in the mortgage lending business. He served in the Navy for 29 years. He was known for his radio show, Dangerous Dan Gregory and the Midnight Frolics. He served as a drug and alcohol abuse counselor and had a positive effect on many. He worked for the government printing office in Seattle for 30 years. He worked at high-tech packaging. He was a prison guard for the state of Missouri. He joined the IBEW Electricians Local number 180. He worked the waterfront for over 30 years as a longshoreman. Danny's described by his wife and children as gentle, thoughtful, generous, slow to anger, and kind to animals. His wife said, "I always used to tease Danny that if you look in the dictionary for the definition of curmudgeon, his face would be there." There are hundreds of obituaries from men named Danny Gregory. And one day, mine will be published out there too. When I read about these lives, I think about the paths I've taken and forsaken. I might have become a journalist, or a lawyer, or a Broadway director. I might have followed up on my post-college plan to move to Truk, a small island in the South Pacific. I might have stayed in advertising until I retired. I might have become a freelance speechwriter. I might not have married Patty or Jenny. I might never have moved to Phoenix. I might never have started Sketchbook School. I might never have allowed myself to learn to draw. I've got one life. It's not over yet, and there are still many choices I can make about the remaining years I'm on this earth as a Danny Gregory. I can look after my body or indulge my appetites. I can publish another book. I can make more animated films or not. I can meet new people or watch Netflix. I can sign up for a workshop on glass blowing. I can go on new adventures or hunker down. I can dabble or delve deep. I can take up golf. My days are numbered, and eventually they'll be summarized in a paragraph or two. So I ask my reflection as I brush my teeth, what kind of Danny Gregory do I want to be? It's still not too late to decide. Your pal, Danny. P.S. If you ever want to write to me or send me snacks and you're confused by all the Danny Gregorys out there, dead and alive, rest assured that you can always reach this one by just replying to this email or sending a tasty package to the address down below. So that was this or last week's essay. I write something different, completely different. They're always about different things. This week I just happened to be interested in thinking about what people like Danny Gregory are like, what people name with my name are like. And I remember there was actually a Facebook group at one point, I don't know if it still exists, of people named Danny Gregory. Strange, maybe there's a Facebook group with your name attached to it. So there are a whole bunch of us named Danny Gregory. We're all members of this Facebook group. And honestly, that was about all we had in common. We were all different kinds of jobs, different ages, different places we lived, different experiences we'd had. But we were all Danny Gregorys. And it was kind of odd. And I think it kind of ran out of steam after a while. I should go back and check out my brethren sometime. But yeah, so it's just made me think, and I've always thought about this, like, how one's life is summarized when one makes an obituary, when one has an obituary written about one. Like, what are the things that the people are going to say about my life or about your life? What photo will they use? How will they capture these decades I've spent on Earth in a few paragraphs? And what do I want them to say? I want them to say something about how I've lived and that I've lived well, I guess, that I've made the right choices. But you never know. And you never know what choices you'll make. So I was kind of thinking to myself, it's not quite ready for them to start writing my obituary yet. So there's still choices I can make about it. You know, it's funny. There was a documentary, maybe you saw it, about the New York Times obituary section. There's like a bunch of journalists who all they do is they write obituaries, and they often write them long in advance, you know, sometimes decades before. And so you might have a New York Times journalist call you up and ask you, interview you for your own obituary. Yeah. So it's sort of an interesting thing. Like, your obituary might be being written already, but I think there's still chances, there's still opportunities to change it. And it just made me think about all of the things that I have resisted doing because I was afraid. And making art was certainly one of them. And there have been a lot of other things. And then a lot of the things that I've regretted that I didn't do, I sometimes regret, and sometimes I seize the opportunity and try them anyway. I took up tennis, sort of, not long ago. I rode a horse for the first time a couple years ago. So you're still never too old to do stuff. And, you know, there's lots of opportunities to just try stuff out, stuff that, who knows, maybe it'll go in your obituary. So what kind of a life do you want to live? What kind of person do you want to be? That's what I was thinking about this week or last week when I wrote this essay. I was thinking about something completely different today when I wrote my essay. I was thinking about spring. So if you'd like to read what I'm going to send out on Friday, you can just sign up at dannysessays.com and I'll send it to you. And, it could be about life. It could be about art. It could be about, the weather. We'll see. So check it out and maybe you'll join me. Thanks for listening today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.